This is the plaintiff, Johnny Madison. He says he and the defendant lived together, and when times got tough, they both fell behind on their rent. Now they owe the landlord 8,000 big ones, and all he wants is the defendant to pay for her fair share, which is half of what they owe. Since he has not been successful in collecting, he wants the judge's help. He's suing for $4,000, exactly half of what is owed. This is the defendant, Lorraine Larkin. She says the plaintiff fails to mention that he was her boyfriend at the time, and they had an arrangement where she would take care of the house, the food, and things like that, and the plaintiff would cover the rent. They never had an agreement to split anything, and she can't believe he now has the unmitigated gall to try and sue her. She's accused of not splitting.
Johnny Madison?
Yes, I am.
You are suing Lorraine Larkin for $4,000, according to you, her portion of rent that is due to the landlord after she breached an agreement to live together with you. Tell me what's going on.
Yes. We lived together. We've lived together for quite some time.
Was she your girlfriend?
Yes, she was at that time.
Okay. How long had you been seeing each other?
About 8 to 9 years.
Oh, long time. All right. And you had lived together for how long?
We lived together in this apartment here for almost 2 years. We lived together in another apartment for 3 years. We stayed with my father for a while.
Okay. Now, when you signed the lease for this apartment, who signed the lease? Both of you or just one of you?
Only I signed the lease because at that time she didn't want to sign the lease.
How come?
Actually, because she probably didn't want to be on the lease. And she stayed where she was.
Nobody ever wants to be on the lease. They'd rather not be on the...
Well, because it took a down...
Were you guys having problems at the time or no?
Yes, it took a down payment to, pay for the apartment. So she really didn't have her half she was supposed to have. We were supposed to move out of the apartment we was in, but she wouldn't move, so she stayed and I moved.
Okay.
In December. And she came to stay with me in February.
So you guys made up and then she moved in February.
She moved in February.
But only you were on the lease. And when she comes in February, what's up to then, during all these years, who's paying the rent?
We both are.
Half and half each month?
Half and half each month.
All right, and then what happens when she moves in February?
When she moves in February, we have the same agreement. She's working. She pays her first set of money, $600. The next month, she pays $400. The month after that, she pays $200. The money got lower and lower. She lost her job. I could understand. She was my girlfriend at that time. I covered her and helped as much as I could.
Okay,
along
for
with
how
everything. Long? I had been doing it now for the 2 years.
Oh, for 2 years?
For
you
2
were paying
years,
the rent?
She's been giving me maybe $100 every month.
Okay, so for 2 years, you were paying the rent.
Yes.
And then what happened?
What happened is in September 1st, she decided to get up and walk out, knowing that we owed her money. I told her
what money?
We owed the money to the landlord.
How much behind on the rent were you at that point?
At that point, it was $8,000 and something.
At that point?
At that point.
And that was what month?
That was September 1st.
Okay. So then what happens?
I kept getting that little $100 I kept crying about, and that's one of the reasons we're separated now.
Okay. So what was the last straw? Did she leave or did you kick her out?
No, she left on her own.
She left on her own because she didn't want to be with you anymore?
No, because she didn't want to pay.
Oh, so it really was the bone of contention between the two of you.
That's
right. So you told her either pay or get out and she got out?
No, I didn't tell her pay or get out, nothing.
Okay.
We argued all the time back and forth about something. She was making up this, making up that. Finally that day on the 1st, it came to a head. We started arguing. I came back home later. She was packing her clothes. Well, not her clothes, but packing half my stuff, and she was
packing your
ready
stuff?
to go. Yeah, she packed all the towels and all the washcloths and everything so that, I wouldn't have nothing. Took all the sheets and the blankets, and they didn't really take clothes. So I allowed them about 3 or 4 days later.
They?
I allowed her.
Okay, but you said they. Who were you referring to?
Well, I just said they.
Okay.
But, on the 22nd, she called me, asked me what was I doing. I told her I was about to fry some chicken, eat some french fries. She said she was hungry. I said, well, bring your daughter and y'all can have something to eat. She said, my daughter's in school. Why I can't eat? I said, well, come on over. You have been coming over, getting your little stuff and doing things. That day, I'm in there with the chicken. The next thing I know, she called her girlfriend. She had packed half the house. She took everything she could think of, a microwave, toaster ovens, anything. stuff that we had got out of Christmas presents.
You thought you were having dinner together and she was coming to get more stuff?
She was coming to rob me.
Okay, did she sit down and eat with you first? Did she eat your chicken first?
No, she never ate the chicken. All the people that came over to help her get her stuff together, they ate.
They ate the chicken? You
I
fed the
everybody
movers?
else.
You fed the movers?
Yeah.
What's
what
going
I
on?
did.
He says
Good
you owe
morning.
rent. He says you owe your fair share of the $8,000 that was due at the time you left. You're not suing for anything after the time she left, right?
No, I
Just
owe
until the
$9,000
time
now.
that you left.
Okay, what Johnny's not telling you is he's very, very disrespectful, very, very harmful to me. Johnny has a mouth on him that will blow your mind. What made me actually move from his apartment, not only that he was verbally abusive to me, he told me what I could do to his genital parts. That's what he's not telling you.
Okay.
And my daughter was downstairs
daughter?
at the door. She's 11.
Yeah.
He made it his business to tell me what I could in front of my child.
Okay.
And when I got down them stairs, because I was so angry, and yes, I was mad, and yes, I did come down there to fight with him. And I wasn't taking it no
Okay,
more.
this was when? Are you talking about when you...
I'm talking about right now.
Okay, in September.
Yes.
Okay, but were you supposed to be paying rent?
No, we
and tell
had
me
no
about what he's
agreement to
suing.
that, Judge. What I had, I was on unemployment at the time, $92 every week.
How long were you on unemployment?
When I came in, I was
long
on
were you on
unemployment for the whole 2 years, actually.
So how long had it been since you helped to pay the rent?
There was no rent. What I was in charge of actually doing is tending to the house. I bought food. I have food stamps that I get every month, 300 and change, which went in that house for him, me, and my daughter to eat.
Okay.
I also did the cleaning, the laundry. That's not what he's not telling you.
So what you're saying is that the only reason he's suing you is because you chose to leave.
I had to leave.
But
He
you think that
changed the
that's why
locks
he's
as
suing
well.
you, because for 2 years you weren't paying rent, and the arrangement was that you were providing food stamps, cooking and cleaning,
Exactly.
and that was your end of the
That
bargain. He
was it.
never collected rent from you in 2 years, and all of a
No.
sudden now
No.
he wants to collect rent for one reason and one reason only, which is you finally dumped him.
Yes. He called, I am married. And
sorry?
I am married.
All
and
this
I'm
time?
separated.
During the 10 years?
We're separated.
You've been separated. Why didn't you just get a divorce?
Well, we didn't have the money for that.
In a decade, you couldn't find. You could have
actually-
scrapped together a few $100 to get a divorce. Is this the father of your child?
Yes.
Okay.
He wasn't there.
So has he surfaced?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he
Well,
did.
did he
calls
stay in touch
him-
with your child or no?
Well, he pays child support now.
If he pays child support, how are we now?
Now.
Like he didn't pay it the first 10 years?
Well, he was in the beginning, but like I said, I lost him. I didn't know where he was.
Are you back with him now?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
no. But he's
And why are we
friends-
talking about him again?
Because he calls him.
Who calls who?
Johnny Madison calls
After you
him.
guys broke up, he started calling your ex or
Yes,
your husband? 'Cause
now.
he's not even your ex.
He calls him now.
And what? The two of them commiserate
about
what?
me.
What do they talk about?
I don't know. He
How do you know
tells
he
him that
calls
he
him?
changed the locks. He the one told him that he changed the locks.
What do you two talk about?
Actually, her ex-husband called me because, you know,
Well,
he
he's
has
not her
a-
ex-husband. He's her husband.
Well, anyway, he has a daughter that I took care of for the last 8 to 9 years.
True.
She's only 11. I took care of her. I buy her school clothes. I do everything it is for that little girl that she needs.
And then all of a
And-
sudden now you're out of her life?
Yeah, well, she made that possible. You know, don't call her, don't get in contact with her, whatever. But I don't have any kids, so if that's what you want, that's your business.
If someone,
What were you going to say? I want to hear what you were going to say.
if he stood there and told me what to do with his genital
right.
parts,
I got it. I'm not in a place to
and
judge
then
you for
tells
making
my
that. I just
daughter
feel
while
bad for
she's
your daughter.
standing there, I said, "Is really like that? You're gonna say that in front of her?" He gonna tell me, "Well, that's for your daughter too." Oh. Was she supposed to stay in his life after that?
Did you
No.
say that?
Do you believe that?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So when the relationship is kind of loosey-goosey and somebody's giving money for this and somebody's giving money for that, can you sue for something that the other person didn't pay for?
Absolutely not.
Why?
You're mingling funds.
So mingling means losing.
No. I think you guys should share. They should share everything.
They should share everything, but if do you equalize it? In other words, can a judge come in and equalize, okay, you paid this and you paid that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a share responsibility.
Share responsibility. I'm getting your point, going inside the courtroom.
And number one is when you're getting in a heated argument, when someone else is calling you names and calling you out of your name and screaming out the street, and they have been doing it for days and days. Finally, I said something to try to hurt her.
Right.
Her daughter was not down the stairs. Her daughter was completely outside where my brother was.
Okay,
But
right.
that's not the point. The point is, when I lived with her, I paid half the rent.
Well, no, when you lived with her for the last 2 years, you paid all the rent.
This last 2 years,
Right.
I paid not
But
every penny of the rent because she gave me $100.
Mr. Madison, you
Yes.
guys have been broken up how long now? Since September? Mm-hmm. Okay, are we done?
I guess, if you say so.
No, I didn't mean the trial. I meant your relationship. I meant, are you done with her?
Yes, I am done
Are you
with
done
her.
with him?
Done.
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 Yes.
Now that she
done.
said it with such conviction, you're going to say
No,
it with
it's,
such conviction. You're done.
I feel
right?
that they are very selfish. For one thing, they pulled a child out like that. Nothing was said
Who's
in front of
they? Who are you talking about?
this same person.
Why do you keep saying they?
I
She
don't
have
know
a
why.
frog in her pocket? Why do you keep saying
The reason I
they?
call it they is like there's 3 or 4 of them. You understand? One of them is, oh, you're so sweet. You stayed with me 9 years. I didn't do nothing to you. I took you on trips every year. We went on at least 4 cruises. This is what we decided to do together, to enjoy, to have.
There was a lot of fighting, though, right?
A lot.
No, there wasn't a lot
lot.
of fighting.
A
There's
lot.
only fighting when one of the other personalities
A
come
lot.
out who you won't listen to. You
But
understand?
you know, Mr. Madison, let me just tell you, put your hand down. Let me just tell you something. You know, so I know, I hear a lot of things coming from you now. You feel like you were really good to her and that she's unappreciative and that you didn't deserve after 10 years to just have this thing dropped like this. She feels like, you know, this was a long time coming because you guys didn't get along. There's no accounting for matters of the heart. If someone doesn't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. And
That's
it.
exactly
and
right.
I understand that. So, and I hope that you understand that. And you deserve to be with somebody who wants to be with you and
Of
loves
course.
you and strokes you and tells you how pretty you are and, you know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
All the time, not
Both
half
of
the
you
time.
deserve to be happy. Now, you got to cultivate that.
Of course.
You can't really be telling people to and expect that they're going to be stroking you and telling you how cute you are, Poppy. You know, like you have to.
They
All right,
never
So just
stroke me
listen to
after
me.
that, that's
All
for
right,
sure.
And just, I want you to listen to me there. I have one issue. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm Judge Milian. I have one issue in front of me, and the reason why I ask these questions, and I'm not. I ask these questions, so that's why I'm hearing all about your relationship. But the reason that I do that is because that gives me some background and some insight into trying to determine what the oral contract was between you two. If she's paying rent all the time, and then she stops paying rent and moves out, and then you're like, hey, I got stuck with the rent bill, that's one case. But if for 2 years she doesn't have to pay rent, and for 2 years she's keeping up a different end of the house, and that was good enough for you, then how am I supposed to impose a contract that obligates her to pay back rent where you weren't making her pay rent until she dumped you? You see? So that's sort of a different case for me. So based on what your own testimony about how circumstances were between the two of you, if it was good enough for you for 2 solid years, it's good enough for me, and I can't turn around and say, hey, lady, you owe him $4,000 now just because you guys broke up. So I find that she does not owe that portion of the rent, and I think it's really in both of your best interests that you both just sort of move on with your lives. I know 10 years is a long time, but sometimes, you know, the best thing you can do in honor of those 10 years is move along down the road, okay? Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff, Johnny Madison, right here. Step on in here. What's your feeling coming out after this verdict now?
Great.
Yeah.
That's what the judge said. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, you tried to win something in court. You didn't win it. What was it like being across the courtroom from somebody you spent so much time with in your life like that, having to sue?
Nothing. I mean, they were selfish before. They're selfish today. No big deal.
You don't have any feelings left over for her still after all those years together?
Like what? That she joked me?
All right. And you don't regret any of the things you may have said in front of her, in front of the daughter, any of the behavior at all? No regrets at all?
No, the girl was treating me like dirt. Every chance she got, I'd go make the money, and you treat me like nothing.
Okay.
Fine with them.
All right.
I'm happy.
All right. All right, so step on in here, and what's going through your mind now coming out here?
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over.
More
My
work?
daughter's with me. I'm with my other daughter, and we just fine right now.
There must have been some good times at the beginning. You must have loved him at the
was.
beginning, right? What was he
course
like
it
then?
was.
What was it like then?
He was good. He was a good guy, but as the years progressed, he changed. He changed, and there was a lot of things that he was doing that made him change like that. So
Should I ask what?
no, no.
All right, then we go to Harvey then.
You know, if you have a specific agreement about who gets what and who has to pay what in a relationship, you really should put it down in writing. I know that sounds weird, but even if you're getting along now, you don't know what the future holds. And in some way, you need to memorialize what the deal is. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.